No, it hasn't. And looking forward to what we have today at the XL Energy Center. That'll be fun with friends, family, and all the state of hockey fans.
How do you describe kind of the last couple of days since winning?
It's been a whirlwind. I mean, what day is it? Friday now? We won on Wednesday. I mean, it's just kind of been a blur with the travel yesterday, the late night celebration after Wednesday, and then, like I said, looking forward to what's to come today.
How late was the celebration?
How late?
Yeah.
Late.
What was that like? You know, as we saw the video of you guys getting off the bus and going in there together, like what was that?
It was really cool, a really special moment to have with the team, and overall just fun. I mean, I think I didn't even see the video, but I know being a part of it, it was just a lot of screaming and yelling and just excitement overall.
What's the celebration going to be like tonight?
Honestly, I don't know what they have in store. I'm sure it'll be a good setup. I think there's photo opportunities. We'll hear from our captains and the coaches, and I'm sure there's other fun things planned.
What's it going to be like in the middle of all that?
It'll be cool. Just to, like I said, being surrounded by the state of hockey fans, and then more friends and family that weren't able to join in Boston. That'll be really special.
How did you feel in the playoff run? You got hot there for a streak. How did you feel?
I felt good. Obviously, my goal is just to give the team the best chance to win, and fortunate enough to do so, to pull it out against Toronto, and then Nicole coming in and getting the job done against Boston.
How motivated were you and your teammates going into Game 5? It seemed like, the team didn't leave any doubt in Game 5. Outshot them, everything else.
Yeah.
How motivated were you guys? You probably didn't want to have to go to Boston and play there, but
yeah.
How much motivation did you guys have?
Yeah, Game 4 definitely stung, losing that double overtime game, and we just wanted to go out there and kind of crush them, and I think that's what we did. I felt like we dominated that game, and so it was really a good way to go out.
What were the emotions on the ice, like on Sunday, like you're at the other end, just to see like the goal and the celebration, people mobbing you like you already won it?
Yeah, to go from that high of a high to that low of a low is obviously mentally tough. Being someone watching it from the bench, it was really, you're so excited, and then I gotta kind of tone it back in there. So I'm sure the players, it was probably mentally hard and unfortunate outcome for that game. Yeah.
About your national team success and stuff. How would you kind of describe where you would say your career was before this season started and kind of where it is now?
Yeah, I had some not so great things occur before the draft there, and then obviously not being drafted was kind of a blow, but my goal this year was to just kind of have fun with the game and wait for the opportunities if they came, and I'm fortunate enough that Minnesota gave me the camp invite here, and then ultimately making the team and then getting some opportunities in the game. So I was really happy with that and where my career was, and taking advantage of those opportunities.
Yeah, did you think you'd get this much significant amount of playing time?
No, I didn't really have any expectations of playing time coming in. Like I said, I just wanted to put my head down and work, and I'm very humbled to be a part of this program and get the opportunities that I did.
Have you guys heard, are you going to get the cup, be able to take it to your hometown for a day, or are you guys going to do things like that?
Yeah, we haven't heard that, if we'll get it for a couple days. I hope so. That'll be cool.
Is there any meeting in between Sunday, or maybe on Tuesday, to kind of get people centered and kind of back on focus after?
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a quick turnaround for travel and everything, but definitely once we got there in Boston, we had some team meetings, video, and kind of everyone just take a breath, like we got this. Yeah.
To have this team have 10 Minnesota players to the PWHL Minnesota title. What was it like to win it for the state, but have so many players inside of the state to be a part of it as well?
Yeah, it's huge. Like you said, there's a lot of Minnesotans on this team, and I've played my whole career here in Minnesota, so it was super special for all of us to get that win here in our home state, and just the whole experience this year being in Minnesota and playing at the XL. And I know we always talk about the fans, but it truly was a great fan base, and the energy that we had in that last game there, unfortunate outcome, but really the whole year, the energy that they brought and the support they showed us, it was great that we could get the win for them.
What was the experience like this year to walk in this state as a professional athlete from here, playing here? It is something that has never happened before. How did it feel? How did it transpire over the season?
Yeah, I truly felt like a professional this year. It's been a long time coming. We've had other situations in the past that we're trying to be, but it just wasn't quite there. And thanks to, you know, the veteran players that came before us, like our own Kendall Coyne-Schofield, for making this truly happen. And I think everyone felt that, like walking into playing at the XL, you know, playing here at TRIA, practicing every day, the resources that we had, the staff that we had access to. I think this year we truly felt like a professional hockey player.
What was the reaction to everybody at the bar on Wednesday when you guys showed up with the other chains? And
Yeah, the bar, it was a small bar, but we made it loud. So yeah.
I saw you posted you're gonna have a goaltending clinic in August, right? In Andover with all 4 goalies.
Yep, all 4 goalies will help out this August in Andover.
Is that something that like you've done before or no? Like teammates are doing here?
Yeah, Nicole and I had ran camps in the past this past summer, and this is going to kind of be like our one this summer.
What like age group is that for?
It's going to be all ages. It's an all-female staff, so we imagine there'll be a lot of young girl sign-ups, but open to all ages and genders. So.
And I want to ask you too, because I know like I mean you and Nicole kind of in the goaltending tandem, but you know Amanda, you know Lev, Lauren, just you know what was it like kind of having them, you know, a part of this year too, and a part of the celebration too. I mean, they didn't get to play, you know, this year like you guys did, but just kind of that relationship and what they're like as being part of this team.
Yeah, it's hard to be in their position, and we recognize that, but their support this year was great. You know, they were at every practice and pregame skate, so it was nice to have them out there pushing us and kind of being on our side and showing that support. And like that goalie camp, lucky to have them a part of that too with us and helping out. I mean, they're just great people and great goaltenders.
Thank you. Thanks, Maddie.
Thank you.
Thanks, Maddie. Appreciate it. Hey, this is next. Okay. Nicole's coming. Yep. Yep.
Sandra, that was Maddie Rooney, goaltender.
Eddie. We just had Maddie just one.
Sorry.
Does that work for you guys?
Yeah, this will work.
Yeah. I'll do it in. Do it.
Good luck,
Nicole Hensley.
There you go.
How's it going?
Good, how are you guys?
Great. How was the past couple of days of celebrating and everything like that?
It's been a lot of fun. You can probably tell I've lost my voice a little bit from all the screaming, and yeah, it's just been awesome to get to spend time with the team and just kind of take a moment to kind of appreciate the season in its entirety, and obviously as well as the past couple days. And yeah, I think it's still kind of setting in that we did it, but yeah, maybe tonight when we get to celebrate with everyone here in Minnesota, we'll feel it a little more.
Season in its entirety was a roller coaster. Is that how you would describe it too?
Yeah, I think obviously it being the kind of first of its kind professional season like this, I think there was a lot of learning and a lot of adjusting and adapting to you know, all kinds of things this season, and obviously you know, in a long season you're going to have ups and downs, and things kind of ebb and flow, and obviously they were not flowing well going into the playoffs, but we're able to turn around against Toronto and then just keep it rolling from there.
What changed after that end of the regular season where you guys run that losing streak and why not feeling good about yourself?
Honestly, I think it was Maddie Rooney going in and playing in game 2 against Toronto. We lost that game, but it was a 1-0 game, and it was kind of a lucky goal that they got to bounce off a skate, and Maddie was spectacular, and I think that was kind of the moment that gave our team a little bit of hope, a little bit of remembrance, like, oh, we can do this. And I think that honestly was the turning point for us. And then obviously she was spectacular for the remainder of the series, and I think if she doesn't have those 4 games that were amazing, we're probably not here right now.
What did you feel about your game then in the finals? Because you look at stats-wise and just, the games you started, the stats kind of mirrored each other a little bit from what she was able to do in the semis and what you were able to do in the finals.
Yeah, I think looking at it, and I think we thought this all season, having 2 very strong goaltenders that can, share the load. I think that was helpful down the stretch to be able to be pretty fresh going into both series. And I don't think any of us were happy with the way we played in the final 5 games. I wasn't happy with the way I played in the games I played in, and it was kind of just going back to the drawing board, watching some film, figuring out what I could do better, and figuring out a couple things that were kind of messing with just my overall game. And while Maddie was playing in the Toronto series, like, I just took the time to be on the ice with our goalie coach, to call like one of my goalie coaches I've had for a long time that lives in St. Louis, and just kind of look at the pieces of my game that I could do better. And I didn't know if I'd get a chance to go back in or not, but I wanted to be prepared for the team if I was.
Why is it important to have such a celebration tonight?
First of all, we're the only people who've gotten to touch Walter, so we're just hoping to get to share that a little bit with everybody. And I think it's important we see a lot of parades of men's teams that win and how much fun they get to have. So for us to get to do something similar, I think is really important to, show young girls that just like this whole league, that's what it's all been about, is like there is something to aspire to. There is a women's professional league that you can play in and that you can strive to be in, to be a professional hockey player. So I think this is just one more extension of just being able to celebrate with the city and showing what's possible.
What's it going to be like being the center of attention tonight?
I don't know. I'm gonna throw Kendall into the spotlight. I think she deserves it. Obviously, I think it's just gonna be so fun to just another opportunity to, it seems like things are happening really quick at the end of the year here with like everyone cleaning out their bags and stuff today. So I think just kind of taking the time to just appreciate the time we have left together and being able to celebrate together.
Very rare for a team to win a championship twice, or feel like they won it twice. Like, what's going through your mind on the ice when people are jumping off on the bench and you're celebrating like within a couple minutes? Everything changes.
Yeah, I think our locker room, when we came in after losing in that fashion, you could hear a pin drop in there for a while, and it didn't feel sad. It didn't feel like we were sorry for ourselves. It felt angry. Like, not angry that it was the wrong call. I think it was the right call. It was a good call on goalie interference for sure, but I think we were just angry that happened, or that, that we couldn't get it back together real quick after that. And I think you just kind of knew in that locker room, it was like, yeah, we're going to do it. Like, it was just this focus, this determination, this anger that I think we kind of got to sit with us for 48 hours, that what it was like to win and then to have it taken away from you. So I think that was, as much as it sucked and we would have loved to have won it at home in front of our fans, I think that kind of jump-started us to play as well as we did in Game 5.
Anyone break the silence? Anyone break the silence after that, or say something? Or is every kind of just got quietly ticked off and then moved on to the next day and settled yourself?
I think both Kelly and Kendall talked a little bit, but it wasn't too much. It was kind of like, here's the logistics. We've got possibly a flight at this time, like, get treatment, take care of yourselves. Like, this is it. We really only have one more. And I think that there was that was kind of helpful too. There was no uncertainty of what may or may not happen depending on winning or losing. It was, we're flying to Boston, we're playing a hockey game, and we're flying back the next day no matter what. And we've done that, 20 times this year. So it was kind of very familiar territory for us.
You were able to win this without home ice advantage. Does that speak to the character of this team, you think?
I think it does. I think, being able to, when you're on the road and you can't get the matchups that you maybe want every single shift, I think that shows how deep a team we were, that we could put different people on the ice and expect them to get the same job done. And I think that there is something like, there is something to knowing your routine on the road. When you're at home, it is like, okay, who's coming down on the ice after the game? Who's, what's happening to my car if we're going to celebrate after this and things like that. So there was none of that when we're on the road. It's literally your singular focus is winning the game, and I do think that in some ways that was helpful. But at the same time, we were obviously really good at home all year, and I think that speaks to our fans and the momentum they give us when we're here.
Going into Game 5, where did the nerves and the jitters rank among some of the other bigger moments of your career?
I don't know. I would say I was more nervous for Game 4, to be honest. Like I said, I just felt really good going into Game 5 that we were confident and that we were just going to go do it. Like we didn't have a great first period, but after that, I think that you saw probably us play the best 2 periods of the year in the second and third, and I think I maybe had 5 shots in the second and third, which speaks to kind of the dominance of that game. And obviously, I know Boston's very banged up as well, and we knew that we just had to keep pushing, and we were thankful to get a couple past Erin. She was obviously incredible all series and all year, and so just kind of trying to hold on after that.
Thinking of at the very end of the movie Miracle, you get the "Do you believe in miracles?" Yes, and it goes into slow motion shots, and you come out onto the ice and everyone's tackling each other. Did it feel like time slowed down when that clock was ticking down? Do you remember those moments?
It did a little bit until, it's obviously very tense when they pull their goaltender, and it's still a 2-goal game at that point, but, they've proven twice that they can score on us with less than 2 seconds to go in a period, so we were very well aware of that and knew that the job had to be finished right to the end, and I think you could breathe a little bit easier when Kendall got the empty netter, but even still, Lee was going through the line saying 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, and it was just, and then kind of watching the clock tick down, it was, honestly, I don't feel like it was slow motion. I feel like it was like speeding up, especially as everyone's like running at you and jumping on you and stuff, and it just, just like a sea of hugs afterwards. It was awesome.
How would you describe the scene at the bar? It's a small place, and all you guys walked in with your different outfits on, and were you playing touch tunes? Were you guys making your own music? What was kind of weird?
I mean, it was a little bit of everything. They had the music going in there, and we actually came in. It was our parents and friends had all done the 3rd grade tunnel that you run through, after a game, and so we did that into the bar, and then it was kind of just all of us hanging out and getting to take some time. My parents were there, so getting to take some time with them to celebrate too, and I don't know. It wasn't super crazy or anything. It was just kind of enjoying each other's company, and then we got back to the hotel, and a bunch of us went to the meal room for a long time, and kind of, I don't even think we had music playing in there. It was just kind of everyone, we were just chanting different people's names for a while, and it was just, I don't know, it's the small stuff like that you're going to remember for sure.
When did you guys actually go to sleep? When did you guys wrap it up?
I went to sleep for the first time at 10 p.m. last night, so, yeah. We laid down, Lee's my roommate, she went to sleep, and I was just too wired and too excited, so we woke up and she goes, "Should we go to Dunkin' and get everybody donuts this morning?" And I was like, "Okay, you're clearly not okay, but yeah, we probably should." So we walked in the rain to get everybody donuts and bring them back to the meal room before we got on the plane. But yeah, it'll definitely be the small stuff like that I remember, I think.
You posted, I think you tweeted the graphic. It was so nice we won it twice. Was that kind of the sentiment in the room too a little bit? The players a little tongue in cheek, or?
Yeah, I liked that it rhymed, and it was just kind of funny because that was, like I said, it was the correct call. Absolutely, that was the correct call. It should not have been a goal. I'm not saying that it should have been at all. We were literally saying that, how many teams get to throw their gloves twice, twice in 2 games, and that was kind of our, we'll do it twice. And I told everybody, I was like, I'm going to say that when we win, right after we lost. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to say that. It's so nice we won it twice if we do it. So I don't know. It was just kind of, I just thought it was funny. But like I said, I'm not saying it wasn't a goal. It should have been a goal. It should not have been.
Nicole, one of the things about sports is you win a championship, but you don't know if it'll be the same group of players next year, and it is probably unlikely that everybody would be back. How does that add to this? What does that mean to you to know that this is the one shot you get with these girls?
Yeah, I think that's why it's so important to make every moment matter. you're never going to have the same team twice, the exact same team twice in professional sports. So, and I think that kind of reality sets in a little bit today as you're watching people pack up their stuff. We've got some exit meetings and things like that, and it's kind of crazy to think about. But, I think, again, that's why you have to work so hard and, all season. And I think that was part of the reason we really wanted to get it done is I think our group came together pretty naturally over the course of the year. We didn't do a ton of quote-unquote team building. It was more just kind of let it grow organically. And I think as the season went on, you saw everyone hanging out more, doing more stuff outside the rink. And I think that that just helped us kind of, again, peak at the right time in the playoffs. Was everyone was really coming together at that point, and I think helped us over the finish line.
How will your summer be different knowing that you have this league? Now you know what this league is all about and what it takes. How will your summer be different as you prepare for next year?
Yeah, I'm probably going to wait a little longer to get back on the ice. It was a really long, especially when you think that a lot of the girls on this team went to August camp for USA Hockey last year. So it's really kind of been, took a little bit of time off after that, but it's been go since August, and now it's June almost. So I think definitely taking a little more time off the ice and understanding that while you have to prepare for the season, you can't just beat yourself up all summer because the season's going to do enough of that for you. Thank you.
Nicole Hensley, goaltender.
Kelly Panic.
Kelly, congratulations. What's the last couple days been like?
It's been kind of crazy. I think it was really actually special winning as much as we wanted to win at home in front of our own crowd. There's something special about winning on the road where it's just your team you get to celebrate with. You're all going back to the hotel together versus, for here, everyone is going to celebrate and then go home. So it was actually really special to have our friends and family, our team celebrate together. And then, we're excited for tonight and to continue the celebration.
What was that kind of moment like at the very end?
Yeah, it was thankfully a little more stress-free. Just with the way we played that third period, and I thought it was one of the best games our team had played as a whole, top to bottom, and just be able to count down the clock, and it's surreal, right? You never know what that moment's like. Winning championships is always really special, but to be the first to win the Walter Cup in the PWHL is something that'll go down in the history books forever.
What's it going to be like tonight?
I don't know. I don't really know what to expect. I don't think this is kind of the first of its kind, which is something special. Winning as a pro team in Minnesota. Hopefully the fans show out like they have all year for us, and to be able to celebrate with them, and with our friends and family that are able to make it is going to be hopefully really fun.
What do you think the emotions will be like? Maybe it'll be the last time this whole group is together.
Yeah, it is. It's weirdly really emotional. Even at the end of the game. On Sunday, or what day is it? I don't even know. Thursday, Wednesday. It is emotional because it is the last time. You get to play with this group for sure. You never know what the next year holds and the next season holds. So there is a lot of emotion behind it, but it's always more fun to have those emotions after you win versus losing. So it's more in celebration than anything.
Is there anything different about this season? I mean, obviously it's all new, but and maybe what you expected it would be like?
Yes and no. I think it wasn't. I don't know if there's. Again, I don't really think I had a ton of expectations going into it in terms of, what it was going to feel like. I think we overexceeded a lot of expectations in terms of fan attendance and engagement and excitement. And I think at the beginning of the season, there was a lot of media attention around it, which was great. And that just continued throughout the entire season, which I don't think is surprising, but it's great. It's awesome. It's what this league needs to thrive and grow. And I think from a hockey side of things, to start everything at square one and to see the product that every team put on the ice, game in, game out, how much parity there was in the league, the fact that we didn't even make it into the playoffs to the last possible moment, and we made that very interesting. And just the way I think, the jailbreak rule and some of those the points and system and all that, those new rules that the league came up with worked out really well. And I think the hockey side of it, it's just exciting to see where it's going to continue to grow.
Why is it so important for you and your teammates to let people know in the hockey world just how important Kendall was for this team, for this league? I mean, you hijacked for the press conference the other night to let people know, hey, this really needs to be said, and that's something I think has been talked about before, but especially now again when Kendall kind of takes an shucks look to it. Why is it so important for you and your teammates?
I think, with Kendall, there's so many parts of her story that are really special. Her having her son 10 months ago and coming back. But I think the biggest thing is she's always tried to make everything not about her. Even way back when she was just a player on the national team, then a captain on the national team, it's never been just about her. She hates when it's about her. So we have to make it about her sometimes. And there's a lot of other players involved with her, but she's someone who's so persistent and demanding what the players deserve, not settling. I think this league could have happened 3 years ago, but I don't think it would have happened this way, in the right way, without her. And like I said, there's not a day goes by that she's not thinking about others before herself. So we like to think of her, make sure everyone knows how great she is, not just as a hockey player, which has been well documented, but truly her legacy. And I think the way she wants her legacy to be is all the things she did outside of being a hockey player.
You've seen some heartbreaking moments as a fan growing up in your life too, sports like that. What's going through your mind on Sunday? You had to throw the gloves up in the air, and then a minute later, it's all of a sudden changed.
Yeah, that was crazy. Goal interference, honestly, I never know the rules on it. It's a guess for everyone. At that moment when I found out they were reviewing it, I'm like, okay, we just got to be ready to play. You can celebrate if they call it a good goal, but be ready to play if it's not. The woulda, coulda, shouldas of that moment of being able to celebrate with the 13,000 fans that were there, or 10,000, whatever it was, would have been awesome. I'm glad that we were able to make it happen on Wednesday, just to, again, the fans, give them what, just because they're not there in person, they're still able to celebrate with us from afar, and then to bring back a celebration tonight. Hopefully turn some of that mojo around for Minnesota sports.
I know Nicole mentioned you were one of the players who spoke up after the game and the room was kind of quiet on a Sunday. What was kind of your message, and how do you guys emotionally turn a page after something like that rarely ever happens?
Yeah, I think with that game, it's easy to sit in the shoulda, the coulda, wouldas. Is that the right call? We almost won. We had won. We threw our gloves. We had to pick them up, and my message was we have another chance. We're not done. We're not over. We are still in a driver's seat in this scenario, which we hadn't necessarily been in the last month. So it was just the reminder that we played a good hockey game. It was a good hockey game through and through, and that we've been playing well. So let's attack the next opportunity we have. Don't beat yourself up over this one, because we still have game 5.
This team set a really high bar this year with a lot of things: quality of play, success, media attention, attendance. How do you build on that next year?
I think in all those areas, just keep going. The XL holds my count almost 19,000, so to reach that would be awesome. Again, I think continue to grow as the league evolves and time goes. There's going to be more and more quality in terms of the play on the ice. It's really hard to make a roster in this league, and it's going to continue to be that until expansion in the future. And so I think it's, again, just being excited about the fact that we get to be pro hockey players. A lot of times it's kind of that fine balance of being really grateful and thankful for the opportunities, but also hell yeah, we earned this. We deserve this, right? So taking that and just, again, being the more that we can be engaged within this community with this team on and off the ice, I think the more that brings more people along into our sport as well.
What do you remember the most about Wednesday night at the bar afterwards? What moment do you remember the most about?
There are some good ones. I think the entrance, again, walking in and off that bus with your friends and family in that bar waiting for you was really special. And again, just being able to celebrate with the group as a whole. It's you don't get many of those moments. And Kendall at one point stood up on a bar and gave a little speech, which might have been the first time she's ever stood up on a bar before. So we loved that. Recognizing Liz for her first goal of the season, the biggest goal of the season, and she brought it at the right moment. And yeah, just being able to cheers each other and celebrate together.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kelly.
Oh, sorry, you got one? No, you can go. We're good.
As one of the leaders on this team in your first professional season, what did you learn about leadership and what did you learn about your hockey life and your hockey career stepping into this new mold for this program?
That's a great question. I was thinking about that actually today, just in reflection of the year as a whole, and I think one thing, like for my hockey career for the last 5 years, every game has felt very, very like do or die in a sense. Like with the national team at World Championships or whatnot, like you're fighting for your job, and then when you finally make a team, you're trying to win a World Championship. Like every game is so critical, important, and this year, in the long stretch of a professional season, there is going to be the ups and downs, and a loss isn't the end of the world. And I think that's something I learned as a player and athlete, just reminded of that sense. Like even in college, I didn't lose a whole lot, and I don't like to lose. No one does, but in a long season, it happens. And so, how do you take what's necessary out of a loss, use it into the future, move on, but maintain that sense of even keelness? I think is crucial in a season. I think that's kind of something our team showed in the playoffs, is that resiliency to not be too down and find our way back up and stay in that middle ground.
That was a great answer.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Guys good with Cal? Okay.
Kelly Panic forward. Sophie Jakes, defenseman's coming up.
Sophie Jakes.
You look tired.
I actually finally just got a good night's rest last night for the first time in a while.
That's a good kind of lack of sleep.
Yeah, exactly.
What's been the last 2 days? What have they been like?
It's definitely been like crazy, and then getting back here with all the travel and stuff, and just trying to get organized for the summer now.
How would you describe this season and how it all played out, starting on the team that you ended up being in the last game?
Yeah, I think it was definitely an incredible season. It was kind of like a full circle moment to be back on Boston's ice for when we were able to win the championship, and I'm grateful to be a part of like an inaugural season and just the buzz and excitement surrounding this league. I'm really excited to see the future of it.
What are your emotions on Sunday when you have a very big goal like that and the celebration and you're taking back and what happened afterwards?
Yeah, I think it was definitely like a huge change in emotions from being like very, very high and then being down in a low. But I think just the fact that it wasn't our last game and that we had that one game advantage and were able to take it back to game 5, it's like, yeah, it sucked in the moment, but we knew we had another chance at them and we knew we could come back stronger to get the win.
After losing 5 in a row to end the regular season, then we go down 2 games to nothing against Toronto. What is able to turn around for you guys to make this happen?
Yeah, I think those 5 games were definitely a tough stretch, but I wouldn't say we were playing bad hockey all the time. I think we definitely had a few bounces that didn't go our way, but we had the key components and we knew we'd been successful in the past, so it was just like finally clicking again as a team and tweaking a few things, like sorting out our penalty kill, I think really helped us to be successful in the stretch.
Now that you know what this league is about, you've played a year, you understand the level of play, the physicality, all that. How does that change what you do in the off season to prepare for next year?
Honestly, I think it kind of keeps it the same. Like you just want to train hard and get yourself to be in the best possible position. I think for me more, it's almost I need to focus on recovery. Like never been playing in 5-game series or playing for this long at this high of a level on every single night. I think you have to prepare yourself for the long run and injury prevention in order to be successful.
Sophie, during any playoff stretch or any title run, there's certain games that you attribute to the players. And game 2 felt like yours. What was it like to kind of being that kind of was trademarked by your effort and what you did?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think it was a team effort, and I was just really happy to be able to contribute in that game. And to do it in Boston, I think was kind of like really exciting and against my old team, but I think we just had a lot of incredible players, and I was happy that the bounces went my way that game and to be able to help us in this last series.
If someone else can start the season with this team, and when you came into now being a championship winner, how did you see the culture of the team grow and transform into what it was today?
Yeah, I think we definitely became closer as a group and just continued to like collaborate and work well together throughout the year and just truly like trust in each other and care about every single person on the team. I think allowed us to be successful in the end because we wanted everybody else to succeed, so I think that was great.
So it's your first experience kind of having a long run in Minnesota as a Minnesota player playing here. What did it feel like to kind of be an import but to get a sense of the state of hockey field?
Yeah, the state of hockey's definitely been incredible. I mean, our last 2 games at the XL were incredible, and to have that fan base and crowd was like so cool, like something I never could have even imagined, and it's like really cool to have the loud crowds cheering on your side.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Kendall's next, just waiting for her to pop up here. Just waiting. Kendall's on her way. So she's up next. Or Taylor, Heisey, or Zum, or Lee. One of them shows up, I'll bring him up. Yeah, I think those guys are going to do something afterwards. Yeah, sure. Coyne-Schofield. Needs no introduction.
I heard you were doing some dancing on the bar.
Oh gosh. It was the only way to get everyone's attention at that hour, and there was a lot of noise, no mic, so it was just it was a moment to get everyone's attention, just to bring everyone together, to say thank you to our staff, our coaching staff, our business staff, our hockey operations staff, obviously all of the family and friends that were in the room. They've supported us through this journey the entire way, through our careers the entire way. And then also we had 2 big pucks to give out that we just didn't have the opportunity to do in the locker room because of the celebration. But Liz Shepard scored her first PWHL goal and couldn't have waited for a better time to do it. The game winner, in the Walter Cup final, which was pretty cool. And then Nicole Hensley had a shutout. So we were able to give out those 2 pucks, and along with a lot of love for everyone that's helped us get here.
Was it emotional for you?
Oh, for sure. I think I've shed a few tears every single day since since that moment, even before that game, after that game. I was on with NHL radio this morning. They had me in tears, and I wasn't even on camera. But yeah, so it's been emotional for sure.
Like your first time standing on a bar, or no?
Yes, yeah, definitely.
How would you describe this last 12 months?
A whirlwind, for sure. It's been, every emotion that you can imagine. I've experienced it from childbirth to the birth of this league, to moving to my family to Minnesota, to being able to be a part of this special group, to closing out as the inaugural and first ever Walter Cup champions. I think you can. Any emotion, every emotion you can think of, I've experienced it. The highs, the lows. Someone asked me today, well, what was the key? I was like, losing 7 games in a row. I don't know. I wouldn't suggest that, but it's just been it's been a whirlwind, and I think I go back to that moment when Mark Walter and Billie Jean King handed the trophy to me for the first time, and being the first of something is special, is hard. It's an honor, it's a privilege. It'll be the legacy of this team, of this city, being the first to do it. But when I lifted that 37-pound trophy, all I could think of were the amount of people that helped lift that trophy that day. There's not enough pages in a book to describe the work and the effort from the players who have come before us, the players that I wish could be in the prime of their career, that deserved this platform, these resources, these opportunities, that didn't get those opportunities. All of the people behind the scenes, many lawyers and people who have worked for us on a pro bono basis for 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 plus years with this goal in mind. And it was hard not to get emotional thinking about all of those people the second I was able to raise that. And then I turned to the team, and it was the team that deserved to hoist the cup for the first time.
How close is this group? You've known a lot of them for a long time, some of them maybe not as long. How close?
There's nothing that brings you closer than winning a championship together. But even before we won, we were an extremely close-knit group. It was so fun to come to the rink. I'm kind of sad coming here knowing we're not putting our equipment on. I'm tired. Don't get me wrong, I'm tired. But it's just, that's the reality of pro sports, is this team will never be exactly the same again, and that's the hardest part. But we will always be Walter Cup champions together. We will always have that legacy together. And I don't know what it is. We talked about this at the post-game press conference. The teams that I've been on that have won tend to stay closer than the teams that I haven't. Whether it's just the group chat is lighting up. I know Maggie Flaherty's birthday's coming up, and you better believe we won't be together for it, but we'll be celebrating it from afar wherever we will be. And just little things like that, whether it's a reunion, celebrating the championship, hopefully a banner going in the rafters, hopefully some rings. I don't know if any of that's in the works. I'm just, those are some things that will, bring this team back together. And if we didn't win,
you don't have those opportunities. So yeah, it was a very special group and just so fun to come to the rink. There was no drama. We came to the rink, we worked, we had fun. We knew we had a high expectation of ourselves, of each other, and I think that's what got us to the end. It's easy for someone when you realize how down we are, losing 7 games in a row for the last 5 and then the first 2 in the playoffs, to be like, yep, this is it. But we never gave up. We always believed in ourselves, and I think that just shows you how close we were on the ice and off the ice.
What did help turn it, though, when you lose 7 in a row? Like, was there something that was said or kind of a moment in the game? I think when the player said, Rooney's played goal and that game 2.
Yeah, I think you look at the way Maddie Rooney stepped up. I mean, this is a kid that went through the draft, didn't get drafted, walked out of that draft room with her head down, not being wanted. But you better believe she was wanted here in the state of hockey, and was phenomenal for us all season. But I think that was a big turning point. Even though we didn't win that game, it was, we can do this. And the way that she played was incredible. And if you look at the playoffs, we were the only team to use 2 goalies. And we have the 2 best goalies in the league, and they showed it. And they showed it's hard to win playing one goaltender, right? This is playoff hockey. This format is new to a lot of us. And I think us having Maddie and Nick play the way that they played was a turning point. And then I think back to Claire Budarak's goal in overtime that kept our season alive. And then, just fast forward to 2 days ago, and you have Liz Shepard scoring her first goal as the game-winning goal. And it just showed how balanced we were. We played every line. We played all our D. We played all our goalies. It took a complete team effort, and I know that's cliche, but when you look at the minutes, when you look at the people who produced, when you looked at our goaltenders, everyone contributed. Obviously Taylor Heisey was lights out and just a huge factor, which is no surprise to a lot of people, but it's still hard to do. This is her first year of pro hockey, and she was phenomenal. Michaela Kava, she's won 4 professional championships in the last 4 years and 4 iterations of pro hockey. I mean, she's a winner. I mean, it's not by chance, by luck. Like, she wins, and look at how she showed up in the playoffs. So I mean, you can turn to a lot of different reasons, I think, but that really big turning point that catapulted us, that kept us alive, was Maddie stepping up in game 2.
You experienced it all in your professional life. I'm sure Sunday was a first for you, though, to celebrate the championship early on. And what was the emotional swing there? And what did you say in the room afterwards? I know I think you and Kelly said something, the emotional swing at that moment of.
We actually haven't had that. Coach hasn't actually been able to address us yet as a group, because we kind of went our set. I went to media, and then I came in the room, and there was just champagne everywhere, and so I kind of missed the initial champagne. Oh, what day is that? Wait, sorry. What?
Maybe you lost on Sunday.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I don't know what day it is. I'm
okay.
sorry. I thought that was Sunday. Okay. Sunday, yes. Oh, okay. Yeah, after Sunday, I think, I think in my head, I knew we needed to get to intermission. I knew it was going to be challenging to do it, but I think that was the only way that we were going to stay alive in that game after just the emotional roller coaster. 13,000 people wearing purple chanting Minnesota, and we want the cup. And you think you have the cup, and then you realize you don't. And, you get back to the bench, and you're looking for your gloves, and I think you have mine. And the ref's like, let's go. We have to drop the puck, and we're just, so it's an emotional situation that you're just trying to come down to. And, obviously they're rising up because they're staying alive, and, we're sinking down a little bit because we just realized, oh, we didn't win. So after the game, though, I mean, the resolve in the room, yes, people were frustrated, but no one was sad. No one was angry, at the decision. It was, hey, we have a job to do. Let's pack our bags. We got to get to Boston. We can only control what we can control. And that was the message on the ice. And it was no different in the room after we lost. Let's go back to Boston, and we got a job to do.
What are your thoughts on the job that Ken did as a coach, coming in last minute like he did?
Yeah, I think he did a phenomenal job. I said this, I think after the game, but you look at the league awards, the MVP award, the best forward, the best defenseman, the best goaltender, the best coach. We don't have any of those. We have the best team, and it starts at the top. And the way he brought this group together, the way that he makes every player feel valued, like their role matters. You saw the way that he matched lines, the way that he didn't roll 6 forwards and 4D and 1 goalie like a lot of other teams did throughout the league. He rolled everyone strategically. Everyone knew what they needed to do to help this team be successful, and it was different for everybody. But every single role mattered in order to get to the Walter Cup and then to win it. So I've been lucky to play with him, before coming here with the U.S. team, and I will say, like, everywhere I've played with him, we've won. So it's been pretty special. But we were very lucky to have him this year, and I will say some of the most fun years I've had playing hockey have been under his leadership, and it's fun to come to the rink. It's fun to work. It's fun to be challenged. He's going to push you to be better, but you're going to be better because of it. A better person and a better player.
Are you pushing for him to come back?
That would be great. I don't make those decisions.
Yeah.
That's pro sports. We play for who they tell us we play for, but I mean after that season, I couldn't imagine him not being back if that's the decision that he wants.
There's so many accomplishments, so many things that your team has done, the league has done, attendance records, all that. First day of training camp, you were asked, what do you hope to accomplish this year? And you were right away win a championship. How much was that at the forefront of your mind, your team's mind throughout the season? Because it's a long season.
Yeah, it is a long season, but I think when you wake up every day, we come to TRIA, that's the goal that's in mind. When it's your job to be a professional athlete, your job is to win a championship. That's number one. That's the top of the list. And there's a lot of other responsibilities that we're lucky to have as a professional athlete, especially in the state of hockey. But first and foremost, it's working every day towards a common goal, and that common goal is to win the Walter Cup. And I'm just so proud of this group. We were able to do that. And, while we're the first to do it, I think it's so important to recognize that I think we all won this year. All the players won. The league won. The sport won. The media won. The future generations won. And I know that, as competitors, and you'll talk to players on the other 5 teams, and they'll say, oh, we didn't win, because they may not have literally won, but together we all won. And this has been a long time coming in terms of what we saw this year, and because of that, we were all a part of that. And I think it's safe to say that although we're the Walter Cup champions, we all won in some way this year.
You all did set such a strong foundation this year, both here with this team and league-wide. How do you build on that in the future? What are you looking for and expecting and hoping for in year 2?
The sustainability to continue. I think we had the opportunity to meet Mark Kimbrough and Samantha Walter in Boston. I've been lucky to meet Mark and Kimbrough before that moment. They actually came into the room before the game, and it was another moment that just my tear ducts, they just keep working really well. That I didn't expect, especially before a game. You're ready to go on the ice, and it just kind of hit me to be able to thank them in front of all the players in the room, and realize they're a big reason why we're sitting here about to go play in one of the most memorable games of our life. And I think it's just the continued sustainability, the continued awareness, to continue to get more fans in the building, just to spread the strength, the inclusivity of the PWHL. You talk about so many people that walk into the building and they'll tell you, I feel welcome. I feel like I belong here. I feel like I deserve to be here. And we feel the same way. And I think just having that relationship with the fans every time we step on the ice, because there were a lot of spaces we didn't feel welcome either. And I think this is a space that everyone feels welcome to be a part of. They're excited to be a part of it, and I think it's just continuing that. I think the product on the ice is going to continue to get better and better and better, knowing that everyone's packing their bags right now, fighting for a job, and that's the reality. There's no guarantees for next year, and so I think a lot of high hopes. But I think everything we saw this year, let's elevate it, for year 2.
I'd like to wrap it up with Kendall. To get Lee in here if you guys are good. Great. Thank you.
No problem.
Thanks so much.
Thank you guys for a great season. Thanks for all the coverage too.
Thanks, Kendall.
Lee's stack line.
They've been great, a bit crazy. This whole month has really just been crazy, obviously, getting into playoffs, going to 5 games in each series. It's been a lot of hockey, but really proud of our group and our team and what we've accomplished here.
Some of this season, is it what you expected? How would you describe it?
Yeah, the season has been awesome. Again, a long season. This group got together in November, and we didn't know exactly what it would look like. It was brand new for everybody, but it's been an incredible season to be here with this group every day at the rink, training and getting better at hockey, playing a bunch of awesome games. I hope we look back, this summer and realize exactly what we've accomplished. When you're in it, you're just sort of moving from day to day. But it's been awesome and incredible. I'm very excited to have been able to do it with this group.
There's kind of a point when it was coming together last year when we didn't know where the teams would be and we didn't know if Minnesota would have a team. Obviously, your primary, what does it mean to you to kind of have this and then, how it took off in the championship?
Yeah, I'm so grateful that we do have a Minnesota team. I think this state deserves a team. I think we proved that here with our amazing fan base and crowd turnout. So to be here as a Minnesotan, getting to play for Team Minnesota and bring a championship home to Minnesota, it's what dreams are. It's what you dream about. It's something I didn't necessarily get to dream about when I was a little girl, not knowing exactly what existed. So to have accomplished that now, again, with this team, it was a really awesome year in so many different ways. But the Minnesota part, being a Minnesotan here, that's hard to put into words how that feels.
What was that moment like to get the cup from Kendall? I wondered for a second how they get to the handouts, and then of course, Lee and Kelly. But that moment for you to be the second one in your team to lift that cup and to get from Kendall, what was that moment like?
Yeah, I mean, watching Kendall hoist that cup, I might cry a little, because Kendall deserves that cup so much. We wouldn't be here without her. So to watch her hoist it. The pictures that I've seen from it, they make me cry too, because that moment is what, we've been working for a really long time. She's been working nonstop for 5 years to create, so there's no one more deserving, and then to receive it right after and get your own moment is really special. There are so many girls, this whole team, we joke and, think you're pioneers, but there's so many people who came before us. Obviously, we want it better for the next group, so I'm just happy Kendall was able to have that moment.
What are your thoughts on Ken coming in like he did a week before the start of the season?
Yeah.
And leading this team to a championship?
That definitely feels like a lifetime ago. Yeah. But we love Coach Klee. He's an incredible coach, a lot of great experience. And I think it showed the way our group continued to grow throughout the season, improve. I think that's a great credit to our entire coaching staff, but definitely Coach Klee. I think, especially in playoffs, I feel like his experience was incredibly helpful.
You've seen him play a lot of sports heartbreak in your time as a fan. What was going through your mind on Sunday when you had the emotional roller coaster, feel like you won it?
Yeah.
Away from you?
Oh yeah, Sunday was definitely a heartbreaker. To go from that high, thinking you've won it in front of that amazing crowd of Minnesota. And then to, goals get called off. That's happened in sports. You have to find a way. Obviously, they got it together a little bit faster and managed to put that goal in, but we were grateful to know we had one more game. That wasn't the end, and that's exactly what we had to focus on, and I think our group did a really good job rallying around that.
Yeah, I have a niece who's 8 years old who lives in Roseville. Players in the step. What is it meant to be put on a stage in this professional realm where you can be girls' role models and you can show up on ice and you're signing autographs? How did that feel and how did you absorb it this whole season?
Yeah, we have felt the love all season from our fans, always, especially the young female hockey players being, on this big stage, hopefully getting just more visibility so more and more girls can come see us play. And it's huge. It's really special to us. We were those little girls once looking, for female hockey players to watch. And so down to get to be that person. I hope we're doing a good job. It felt like the fans continue to come out, so it feels like we were doing our best But those fans, thank you so much. I hope they get to dream about this and be here someday.
You're obviously someone that's went to the national team. There's college hockey, the national team is like an all-star team, and this is kind of in the middle ground. What was it like to be a leader? Players that are from the national team, then some rookies coming straight from college, and some other players that are kind of in between. How did that all mesh together and then come together in this playoff run, especially?
Yeah, I think it's a different year, like you said. College, everyone has different experiences, but it's fairly similar. National teams, no matter which one you're on, kind of the same sort of thing. This felt brand new, I think, for everybody. We all played on a bunch of different teams to get here, and we were building it together. I think that was the best part. We got to determine exactly what we wanted and how we wanted it to come together, and so I thought it was awesome to see more and more people throughout the season putting our own stamp on things. We had so many leaders in the locker room. And I think that showed in playoffs. Everyone, at the end of the day, everyone's played some playoff hockey before, and we knew what it took. And so I think that was when I was really most proud of our group, being able to turn around sort of a disappointing end to our regular season and get, the momentum going in the right direction for playoffs. I think that takes a lot, and we definitely couldn't have done it without our incredible group.
I'm sure there's some years, too, where you played that last game and you're not necessarily sure when or where or how that next game will be, but you know that there will be a next season. How do you approach an off-season differently knowing that you're a professional player and a professional and a professional team?
Yeah, this is, like I said, it's all new still. I haven't thought much about the off-season. We were taking it one game at a time, and now getting to come back to the rink today to be together for just a bit longer before everyone goes their separate ways. But luckily, I think there's a large group of us that'll be in Minnesota, and we'll hopefully get to keep being together, training together, hanging out together, whatever we need to do in the off-season. Obviously, there could be a lot of changes next year. There's a lot of one-year contracts, things that might not be super known, but we have this group in this year, and that's something that I know we'll cherish, especially in these next few days.
What do you remember the most about Wednesday night when you guys were celebrating together at that bar afterwards? So what do you remember that moment when you remember the most? Can you tell people afterwards?
The bar was awesome, just to have family and friends there. We had so many who came out to Boston to support us. But getting to celebrate with that group, it's sort of, you're so focused on the hockey that it just takes a moment to be like, I'm not putting on my skates tonight. That's a pretty fun moment when you realize that. But I do always love Kendall Coyne. Is, like I said, she makes us emotional, but she got up on the bar to give a speech at the end and hand out a few game pucks, and I think that was an awesome moment to know that Liz Shepard's got her first goal in that big moment, and to see the way we were able to celebrate her at the bar was awesome.
You guys good?
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll bring some over.
That was Lee Steckline. Before her was Kendall Coyne-Schofield. Grace Zumwinkle now.
Grace Zumwinkle.
Oh gosh, I don't even know where to look.
Grace, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. How's the celebration been going the past couple days?
It's been good. I think it's definitely been a whirlwind for us. Having that one game in Minnesota that we all thought we had won it, then to have to go to Boston, then come back, it's been crazy, but in all the best ways.
What was the feeling going back to Boston? I think Kelly said you guys were kind of angry a little bit just for the result. How are you guys feeling?
Yeah, I think a lot of us were like, when we came back to Minnesota, we're like, let's do it so we don't have to go back. And then when we did have to go back, it's like, well, you might as well make the most of it when we did go back. And I think the travel has been a lot at times, and I think you came so far and you are like, I want to end on a positive note. So I think at the end of the day, it was just another hockey game that we had to go out and win.
You guys played your best game of the season in that last game, so that must feel good to know that you guys left it all out there.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you look at the shots, I think they ended up being like 46-14 or 17 or whatever it was, and I think it just goes to show that every single piece, every single line, defense, goalie, all the way through, it was a complete team effort at the end of the day.
How would you describe just this whole season? Is it what you expected? Is it different?
Yeah, I mean, it's been crazy. I think you come in, you start with the draft, and you're like, I don't know what to expect, and you're like, I think it's going to be X, but it might be Y, and I think the league has definitely grown and improved over the course of the season. I think just, at least in Minnesota here, the fans have pleasantly surprised the turnouts we've had with, I think, having 13,000 crowds, and I think it just goes to show how much the game has grown and will continue to grow in hopefully the years to come.
You just never left Minnesota thing, huh? How unique is that? And I guess how not unique is it because of what Minnesota is?
Yeah, I think for a few of us that are born and raised here, played college hockey here, I think Taylor Heisey and I have been on similar journeys together from youth hockey through college hockey, and I think it just goes to show how truly special this place is for a lot of us, and I think being able to play in front of family and friends every single night is very rare in professional sports and something we certainly don't take for granted.
Where's this going to rank for bragging rights now that you have the Walter Cup with, like, your sister, for example? We've talked before about the state tournament. You didn't have a chance to play there, but I mean, where is this going to rank now?
I think there's definitely some bragging rights now. I think as a family, though, we're just very supportive of each other in whatever avenue it is in life. And I think regardless if it's tennis, golf, hockey, whatever it is, we're a very competitive family. But at the end of the day, we'll always support each other 100%.
Grace, you had a pretty legendary performance on Wild on 7 Taylor. We're happy to have you on a lot of the Valley coverage this year as well. What did it feel like to be a pro hockey player in the state and just have the different media responsibilities and attention you have to show up here on a day after celebrating the answer buckets from us?
I mean, I think it's great in all the best ways. I think it's easy to sit and nitpick or be like, oh, we have to do this again, but I think we're just truly grateful for all the media and people that have came out to support us through all, and like you said with the podcast, Taylor and I, it's something that we like doing together, and I think when you have someone to do it with, it makes it that much more enjoyable.
What was it like to, I mean, you guys obviously played in college together, but have this professional experience that bring you guys closer together? Was that journey like solving pro hockey together?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that we definitely talk every single day. I think with the national team, we've spent maybe 3 months in a hotel room together. So we've gotten to know each other more than we probably should, but I think it's just super fun to have someone to go through the ups and downs throughout the whole year with.
When you got to the end of the season into playoffs, just a full pro season, that schedule, how did it feel physically, mentally, emotionally? How did you stay in the zone and stay ready to compete as you go through?
Yeah, I think this is the longest season that a lot of us have had, starting all the way back in August for some of us, and I think it's a learning curve that will continue to grow and learn. You look at the NHL guys and you're like, holy cow, how do they do it? But I think we tip our hat off to them, and then you have that much more appreciation for the process that they have to go through on a nightly and daily basis, and I think it's just taking it one day at a time. I think it's so easy to look at outcomes, wins, losses, goals, assists, whatever it is, and I think if you just focus on the process and staying present, it goes a long way.
Will it be easier next year now that you know what a physical league this is, you know how to play a 5-game post-game series, those kinds of things?
Yeah, I think like I said, it was a learning curve for a lot of us, and first for everything, which is awesome, but at the end of the day, it's like every team has a goal of winning a championship at the end of the day, and I think having this experience this year will only help it next year and then the years to come, and have that experience will make you that much more confident next year. Thanks.
Great. All right, Taylor gets your elbow out. Ken and Natalie too. Still coming. So you guys know, I don't have any draft credential information yet, but I should have that by next week. and I'll send that out to the list once I know what the draft of the awards. We've got a call on Monday, I think. Yeah, I just asked Ken and Natalie finishing up one more interview next to it, or conversation next to it, and then I'll come back to you.
No, I'm sure she's coming in hot.
Okay. Taylor Heisey? Okay.
Taylor, welcome home.
Thank you.
What's this celebration been like?
It's been fun. I think today's going to be super exciting with, having all of us and our fans at the XL and making sure we get the proper celebration when we get home. And I think, obviously we spent a good night over in Boston, but it's nice to be home here with our home fans and our family and friends as well.
Did you get any sleep that night?
Well, not really. A little bit. I would say it was a cat nap, but either way, slept on the plane a little bit, come back. I guess sleeping doesn't really matter when you're like that excited to be around your friends and your family and the girls who you won with. So, I mean, it was super fun. So we're excited, like I said, to come back today, and I'm sure the party will continue later.
Can you describe just this year as a whole? Obviously, drafted first overall and staying in your home state, and then state, girls state hockey. You were able to speak. Just kind of come to state championship too. So just kind of encapsulate the best you can.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot. It's been a whirlwind, but it's been super fun, and I've been living the dream every single day that I've been here, which feels like a year and a half, but I think it's only been about 6-7 months. So, I've had a lot of fun. I always knew I would be willing to go anywhere and play anywhere just to play, the sport that I love. But this is obviously where I wanted to be, and I'm glad that I'm here, and I'm glad I'm here to stay. So, it's super exciting to be a part of this special organization, and the Wild's done a lot for us, supported us through and through. So, every organization in Minnesota has really stepped up to make sure we know that we feel loved and supported. So it's been fun to have, sellout arenas, and, we've had a lot of really amazing fans and games. So I would say it's just been overall a really awesome experience, and I'm excited to keep going because I think we're going to keep blowing up barriers in the future as well.
What were some of those just celebration moments, like the empty netter that Kendall scored, and then obviously you guys celebrated on the ice, the
Right.
ceremony, MVP, all that?
Yeah.
I mean, are there things that stand out even?
I think the whole thing, and encapsulates kind of who we are as a group. We're not here for the personal accolades. MVP's cool, but I'm more excited to, see Kendall raise the cup. She's someone that's done so much for our sport and for our team. I mean, she's someone, it's hard to, like I said, encapsulate what she means to us and what she means to me. And being able to play with her has been really, really special. And, to see her raise the cup, have that with her husband and her son, after working so hard, and having our team just be able to touch it and be able to take pictures and have our families and stuff in Boston has been really fun. I'm excited for tonight. I think it'll be more so. A lot of everyone else's families will be able to show up and support us and everything like that. So it's been really fun. But I think the whole celebration itself has just been, it kind of, like I said, encapsulates what we've worked so hard for this year. Like, we've been here every single day practicing, and it's pretty special.
Do you think at all about how close you guys came to not even making the playoffs?
Yeah, we squeaked through really tight space. I think, but those are the moments that we learned from, like that, those games that we lost. I think if we didn't turn around and do the things that we did there, and learn from those, I don't think we'd be here talking about this right now. Whether that's, having a better F3, whether that's, not being on the offensive side of the puck all the time. What creates championship winning teams is, the teams that play defense first and offense second. So all the things that we've learned from and all the things that we've kind of done have definitely helped us to be where we're at today and to have the success that we did.
What changed or flipped the script for you guys? You had lost maybe game 2 in that first series, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, I just think we ended up having this notion. In my mind, I was like, we're playing with house money. Like, at that point, we're down 0-2. And, everyone thought Toronto was going to win. And, when they picked us, we obviously had the animosity between that and things like that. But I just think we said, screw it. Just go out there and play. And then that's when I think we played our best game out of the turn. And that's usually how it goes. When you don't have anything to lose and they have everything to lose, that was kind of it. And when you bring it to Game 5, they're not expecting to make it to Game 5. They obviously wanted to close it in 3. I think we watched probably 15 people vote on what was going to happen, and everyone said Toronto's going to sweep 3-0, and then we're going to see how it goes. And it's been cool. We've played 10 games in playoffs, as many as you can in 20-something days. So we're excited to just kind of rest a little bit now, but definitely get back to it because this is a feeling you want to feel again.
How did it feel to perform the way you did in that pressure league and let the team goals and points to back up that #1 pick mentality? What was it like to dominate the way you did in this run?
Yeah, obviously wanted to back up the #1 pick, but more so I want to back my team up. I want to back my friends up because they put in the same amount of work every single day. We show up, practice out here, practice at the X. 2 very amazing locations. You really can't beat this view here, especially when you're up at 6:30 in the morning. We're out there skating, and the sun's rising as you're skating and things like that. So, we're very blessed to be where we're at. And for me, I'm blessed to be a part of a great team that has put their confidence in me and put their hand on my back and said, you can do it, even in the tough times. The droughts that we had, the no scoring for 4 or 5 games as a team, those are all hard moments that you come out of on top. And those are moments that I want to laugh about now because they seemed like they were the worst thing in the world at the time. But not everything's pleasurable, I guess, when you're doing it. So when we're, thinking back on those things, I think it's pretty cool to look back on and see how we kind of came out of that.
As a Minnesotan to have over 10 on this team, players that you play with, probably the players you look up to that were from Minnesota, what did it feel like to be on PWHL Minnesota and see so many Minnesotans on this championship?
Yeah, it's special. We obviously don't discriminate between our non-Minnesotans, but yeah, to have all these girls who, we talked about it, Sophie Jakes and Liz Shepard at Ohio State, they're like, welcome to the winning group. I'm like, I haven't felt this in a really long time. Not high school and not college. So only at the national team level have we really felt the championship mentality. So it's funny to see all these girls who have they've done it, and you can tell they have that poise and the want to be there and knowing what it takes to win. And we have some of our leaders on our team, Kendall, Lee, Kelly, Nick, Maddie. They've all won at the highest level, the highest of the highest, and I can't even say that. So I think we just leaned on everyone and made sure that whether or not you're from Minnesota, we're doing this for the state of Minnesota. We'll do it for ourselves, but we'll do it for the state. Obviously, we were at the Timberwolves game last night. Really wanted them to pull out something, but it didn't happen. But either way, I think we've done something that hasn't been done in Minnesota history in a long time, really ever in this league, but something that we're excited to take home and share with our buddies. Thanks.
Taylor Heisey, head coach Ken Clay coming up.
You guys ready for coach? I'm gonna pick out a stick first.
Oh, for sure. Actually, I had aluminum. Yeah. Everything. How's that?
What's it been like?
It's been awesome. I mean, just so excited for our group, to be able to celebrate a championship at the end of the year. There's no better way to kind of go out. It was very appropriate, I thought, that we started the year in Boston and then we got to finish in Boston. So, and both with a win, which is awesome.
It wasn't looking good after going down 2-0 to Toronto.
Yeah, first game for sure. I didn't like the way we played in game one, but from game two on, I really thought our game changed. I thought our players were buying in, playing the right way. You could see our confidence growing as we went through games. It's a great. Obviously, Maddie Rooney played unbelievable in the first round, and Nicole Hensley played unbelievable in the second round. So it was just a great team effort. Everybody chipping in, everybody contributing.
A couple of players have said game five in Boston was the best game of the year. I think Hensley said the best two periods, the last two periods of the year.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be hard to argue with. I still haven't got to watch it yet. I'm going to watch it because that's just what I do. But I agree. It was, the first period I came in and gave it to them a little bit because I knew we could play better. We were still a little, I think, maybe distraught from the celebrating. I mean, how many times you get to celebrate twice winning a championship? So to celebrate, have it taken away, end up losing the game, and then, and obviously the next two periods we were lights out. I think we all gave up 3 shots in the third period of a deciding game 5, which, for me as a coach means everyone's doing the right things. The players are buying in, blocking shots, getting pucks out, getting pucks in, holding on to pucks, just really playing hockey the right way.
You knew a lot of these players before. How quick did it take you, or how long did it take you to catch up once you were hired?
Not too bad. I think we have an unbelievable leadership group. Obviously starting with Kendall, Lee, Kelly, Nicole. I mean, I had coached all them before, and when you can get your leaders to buy in and know that the way I coach, the way I'm going to teach is going to be beneficial for each one of them as well as our team, I think that's the key to getting the rest of the team kind of to buy in. So, to me, it didn't take that long to get that, but the season's going to have highs and lows. It's going to have ups and downs, and we certainly went through those, but it's great to finish on the high.
How did you enjoy coaching in this league?
It was great. I mean, I said it early on that it's as much fun as you can have when every game is a 1-goal game, an overtime game. As a coach, you want competitive games. You want it to be tight. You want every game to matter, and certainly every game did.
As far as just this is your first regular season compete, the pacing, there's only so many things you can say when your team's down. There's only so many things you can say when your team's up. How was it maneuvering the schedule in the playoffs period? How did coaching just pacing out what you went through?
Yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of great mentors. I mean, when you play an NHL season of 82 games plus playoffs, I think one year we had 20-something games when we went to the finals with the Capitals. So I certainly understand that players are going to, at some points I need to say less, at some points I need to say more. It's kind of reading the room, reading each individual player. We as coaches go through our routines with Mira and Jake and Sam to try to make sure that we're on top of the pulse of the team. Make sure that we know who needs to be pushed today and who needs to maybe be given a little bit of a break. So that's just all part of the puzzle, which is part of the reason I love to coach is to me it's a big puzzle, trying to fit everyone in together and to get the best result. I mean, because to win a championship you need the whole team.
Before Game 5, was it an epic Herb Brooks-esque speech, or was it more cool, calm, and collected?
No, it was actually I got shortened because the Walters were in speaking, and then Billie Jean spoke, and then I come in the room. I was told I couldn't go in for a bit, and I go in and I see Kendall has tears in her eyes, so I'm like, well, what am I going to say that's going to move her more than that? So it was just hey, win one game, let's get after it. It was super quick and short, and again, just reading the room. I know I didn't have a lot to add to. Obviously, they were excited to have those people come in and speak and how much they've done for the league and everything. They are the league, so it was pretty awesome.
It's a tough act.
Definitely.
Have you had any talks with Natalie about beyond this year?
No, not at all. I mean, right now it's just about enjoying the now, enjoying the moment. We're doing our exit interviews right now this morning, so going through with each player, just basically thanking them for coming to work every day, being good pros, being good people, working hard, and that's kind of where we're at right now.
Do you want to come back?
Yeah, I mean, it was great. I really enjoyed coaching. So, I mean, anytime you can win, it's great, and the winning's great, but obviously coaching great people, that's more important to me. Coaching people who want to get better, coaching people who want to be here, that's the part that I really love.
What are your thoughts on the quality of play in the league this year, and how big a step forward was this for the women's game?
I think it was huge. I mean, being a national team coach, it was a lot of it's U.S. Canada, and then everyone else is a distant third. So in this league, like I said during the playoffs, like any team 1-6 beat the other teams and went to overtime with the other teams, and I mean there could be 5 other teams that were hoisting the cup, but I'm certainly thankful it was us. But I think that's just a testament to how much parity there was in the league, how good the league is, how good the hockey is, and I think it's only going to get better from here. Good, you bet. Thanks, guys.
Oh, you have to get the crib?
Yeah.
Is that at the...
It's in my truck. I'm going to put the crib. I'll not open it.
Okay. You there?
Oh, you guys cold?
Yeah.
It's cold up here. Oh, you should have had this somewhere warmer. So.
They haven't stopped smiling for a while.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. Just we haven't had much time to digest quite yet the relevance of a year ago. This didn't exist. To 15 staff members, 26 players, a draft, now a championship. So these players deserve it. Our staff deserves it. The state of hockey deserves it. We earned it. It's a great league. 6 teams. Honestly, at the beginning of the year, you could have made a case for any of the 6 teams winning it. The good news is I think we drafted a really great team of competitors, a really great team of, if you look at a lot of the backgrounds of these players, Ohio State players, Wisconsin players, Minnesota players winning national championships, winning gold medals. At the end of the day, they didn't want to lose, and they were sick of losing. And when your back's against the wall and you're sick and tired of something, I think something great came out of it, and that we played our best hockey. We probably played our best team hockey all year in the last 2.5 weeks or whatever it's been since Game 3 against Toronto. So just super happy for our organization, the state of hockey. I think you see a lot of it being about a lot of the players. Yes, they're the product on the ice, but there's just an army of people that went into this organization being successful this season in year 1. A lot of people doing stuff not in their job descriptions and wanting this to work and for the greater of the group and the greater of women's hockey, wanting this to work. And anything from the Excel staff to TRIA staff here to volunteers we had, just honestly picking up
where they could help. It took an army. So I know you're hearing a lot from the players, but I wanted to make a point from an organization standpoint. There's so much that went into this and so many people that have been a part of that. And obviously, with that being said, with fans, media goes hand in hand. So I want to especially thank all of you that came out today. You know, I need to represent the ones that came out in November. We had maybe 4 or 5 of you, and they're here today along with a lot more jumping on, and we're appreciative of that. So we would not be successful as an organization if we didn't have media highlighting us and putting us in the limelight. That goes hand in hand with having fan base. So I want to recognize you guys and thank you for all you've done for us this season as well. Appreciate it.
You were in a tough spot a week before the season starts. You don't have a coach. Talk about the job that Ken did with this group.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a spot I think anyone wanted to be in. You know, respect what happened with Charlie and wish him the best. We were just really excited about this group that we drafted in September, and honestly, you know, the players were resilient. I don't think any other level of play this could have been possible. They're professionals. They're just playing hockey at the end of the day. They're just hearing it from a different voice. And so, you know, him coming in, driving in from Colorado with short notice, you know, shared a lot about him and was able to get it done here. So it's just been a lot to look back. We kind of forget about that moment almost. So it's, you know, it's been fun.
You know, as far as the celebration goes, like there's tonight obviously, but as far as like, you know, the NHL players take the Stanley Cup for a day or whatever it is, you know, if there's any like other plans in the works for other things like throughout the summer yet? Or?
We're told that we're given a replica of the Walter Cup. That's just kind of what's been passed down, that we do have the Walter Cup, the legitimate one, on hand tonight, and we will throughout the draft until the draft is here. And then I think the word is we're given a replica to have here for our organization, and then the real Walter Cup will go to the Hockey Hall of Fame. But certainly we don't have to tell anyone that, other than me just telling you guys that it's a replica. And so I think we'll do something special and have a tradition and start a tradition. We're the first ones. There's really no policy and procedure and protocol. I think we can make our own to what we want to do. And so I think that's something we'll do, is we'll have each player have a turn with the Walter Cup and have their time with it. You know, from a logistics standpoint, it might be tough to get it to the players that are not in state, but we'll figure something out for this, and we'll fly by the seat of our pants and make it special and fun. And but I think it's a great idea that each player, each staff member has a chance to have some special time with the Walter Cup. It means something different to everybody and what they've put into this organization. So there'll be definitely something. We've had a lot of great reach outs in the last few days of you know, the Bar of Their Own wants to host us for a meal, and a lot of people are on board wanting to do something for us. So it's whether that's the Twins and having us out. You know, last night the players were out at the Timberwolves games. And so that stuff is starting to come in on Joe. So be kind to Joe today, because he's got a lot on his plate. So.
Is there any other celebration stuff you know about? I know there's possibly a parade or games, or is there anything that you know right now?
Yeah, right. What I know about tonight is obviously we'll walk from here to the Excel, and then have a good 2-hour little. We'll try not to bore you, but we'll have a 2-hour celebration, and then from there, you know, I would assume the quintessential bling on your finger will come, and probably some other things in the works, along with, like I said, the Twins games, getting out to a Twins game, and what other opportunities are out there for us to be in the limelight and public eye and showcase our sport and grow women's athletics as well.
A lot of sports, like, they design their own rings, like, you know, ownership does that. I mean, like, for this particular circumstances, how do you guys work that?
You know, I hope that we obviously, you know, the difference between us and the Wild and Twins and Timberwolves and Lynx is we're under one entity, right? So, you know, like, for instance, the names, you know, generally the Wild came up with the Wild name, you know, that's coming from a league level. So we're unclear whether that is hopefully up to us or they're taking the lead on that, but hopefully there's collaboration and both sides can share their thoughts and opinions and how we want it to look. So.
Yeah,
I think we all go into the draft thinking, you know, we're building a championship team. Obviously, this draft was significantly different than any other draft we'll ever see, right? Because we were literally picking 26 players at one time. Whereas, you know, the draft on June 10th, we're picking 7, right? To filter in and puzzle into what we already have. So we walked out of that draft in Toronto thinking we had a championship team and believing we had a championship team. I think for us, you know, the makeup of any championship team is do you have a solid goaltending? We certainly had that between Maddie Rooney and Nicole Hensley and Amanda Levier and Lauren Bench were also members of our goaltending squad. Who may not have been in the limelight, but you know what? They're taking the darts in practice and the high shots from these snipers and taking the paces. So from there, you have superstars. Certainly think Taylor Heise is a superstar and will be a mainstay and maybe one of the best players in the world. Not if right now, but definitely in the future in the next Olympics. So we had the makeup of superstars, and then we had the makeup of role players. And my responsibility and my job for those role players is who are those people? What kind of character do they bring? How will they mesh in? How will they fit in with the rest? And so just the players like Natalie Bookbinder, Maggie Flaherty, Claire Buterak, those guys, Liz Sheppers, you can go on and on, but we looked at their background, and they're winners. They had pedigree. They won at the NCAA level. They had success throughout their career. They're great. We've heard from they're great people. Team first mentality. Those things were really important for us to put the pieces of the puzzle together for this organization. And you know, even though we had our 0-7, skid there at the end, we never lost belief, and it started with belief. And quite honestly, it was those players that turned it around and said, you know what, we're sick of losing. We're going to go out here and turn it around, and they did. Nothing really changed as far as the system standpoint and everything like that. It was their demeanor that changed it for us. And that's something we went into the draft knowing that these guys are champions and they're high-level competitors and that they don't like losing. And so, we're pretty proud of the team we drafted, and now we have an opportunity here in a week or two to add to that roster with who's in the 2024 draft and to see what we can do. The hard part that, the human element to this is this team will never be the same, unfortunately, because of the talent coming into the 2024 draft. So there will be some players that may not have a spot here next year because new, better players are coming in. And that's something as an organization, is tough and we're going to have to deal with and navigate. But we feel really good about where we are as a foundation, as an organization, and what we have to build off today.
You mentioned the draft, and it brings up the question in the WNBA. It's really brutal to make a roster.
Yeah.
First round picks and second and third. You're lucky you can play games. Do you anticipate that with the PWHL draft? Do you have any idea of how many players you could glom on? Do you have a sense of how that will fill out the roster?
Yeah, I mean, the 7 rounds, we do know that. The first probably 2 to 3 rounds are obviously significant, and those are players that have a high level background, whether they may be on the national team, whether that's U.S., Canada, or overseas. So we are kind of trending towards it's going to be really hard to make our roster until we have expansion in this league, and we know the reality of it is year 2 there's not expansion, and so it's us to be able to put the pieces of the puzzle together, have the same philosophy we did this year about the makeup of our team, and it's really important to have a good character and be a locker room player first. And that's something that, I feel with talking to players, they always mention their teammates. This is a great team, they're great teammates. That's number one priority. Obviously, you're not going to be here if you're not a good hockey player, so that the box is already checked there. But for us, it's really important that and then add into the mix of local Minnesota kids or Midwest kids. It's really important that's something else I'm really proud of this roster is a heavily Minnesota Midwest-based roster. And we believe the great talent's in our backyard, and it's only going to grow our organization from a fan standpoint and a growth standpoint in the state of hockey. So that's really important for us too.
How many of your players are on one-year contracts, and how much turnover might you expect there to be for next year?
We have 11 players on multi-year contracts. The rest are all on one-year contracts. We have from June 1st to June 21st to re-sign those one-year players. If they're not re-signed, they become free agents, and any team can pick them up. If a team chooses to pick them up, we can certainly match that offer. But it's going to be tough, And then my message to the players today with our exit meetings were, I think a player like a Michaela Cava certainly is on a 1 year. She probably earned a contract extension, and so we'll work through that. So a couple players know that obviously we would love them back, and some other players are in a wait and see mode where we want to get through the draft, see who we draft, see what positions we draft, and then kind of make decisions from there. But we'll have a good training camp regardless next November of hopefully players coming in so that we can get them back on the ice. But certainly players this year we had on roster, they've proven themselves as not only a player in this organization, but a teammate, and so that definitely goes in their favor.
You had a fairly small group for camp last year. You expect another smallish group?
Yeah, I believe we had 28. We never had to cut a player,
Yeah.
which I'm proud of. Last year we never had to cut a player from this roster. Obviously some became reserve players. We're kind of, my analogy is the tanks stay in the same side, but more fish are coming in, and so it's going to be it's my responsibility to do the hard job, is to sift through that and see who makes our roster. More fish come in, but the roster stays the same of 23 plus 3. So, if you do the math, and it's going to be difficult. We're in a difficult situation, but when I say difficult, it also means it's in a great situation because of the talent that's out there. So that means our game, our product on the ice is only going to increase. Just the human element side of it becomes tough.
Will it be hard to keep both goalies?
No. No, both are under contract for another year. Amanda Levier too. We'll look to talk to her in the off season as well. And there's just at this level that the difference. Ken just chose to ride 2 all year, and that's his prerogative. But I think we have a really great goaltending situation, and for me, going into the next draft, goaltending positions aren't at the forefront.
Is next season's schedule starting at the same time?
Yes, so next season's schedule will begin games late November. We'll add 6 games to our schedule, so we'll jump from 24 to 30 games next year. Unfortunately, with World Championship breaks, that all still remains. So we'll probably, if we go the distance again next year, we'll be talking to you at about the same time. So.
Anticipate being back at XL and Tria next year?
All signs, nothing's set in stone and confirmed, but all signs point to this will be our practice home, and XL Energy Center will be our game home for sure. I think it was well received from everybody, from a player standpoint, staff, to a fan standpoint. So we're very, very fortunate to the Tria Rink staff and XL Energy Center staff for all the work and resources they provided us.
Do you anticipate Ken being back?
Let us enjoy the championship here, We haven't thought about next year at all. We're looking forward to a celebration tonight, and we'll go from there. So.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.